Where did Plarium say they weren't nerfing Trunda or Yumeko? It was on the forum somewhere on Discord. Hang on. Let me see if I can find. Okay. Here we go. This is from Oracle. I think yesterday. It says, thank you for expressing your views. He's a community manager from Plarium. As for our plans for Trundas and Yumekos, we consider Hydra teams with those champions difficult enough to build, so the huge damage output is well deserved. Thus, there are no plans to nerf any of those at the moment. So as of yesterday, I recorded my videos for yesterday before this came out, so I wasn't able to talk about it. But that is the current plan. So I do think it's a bit amusing. You know, like, we look at their raid digest, and they say, we will keep monitoring individual champs' performance on Hydra to make sure there's no single champion who grants too much of an advantage in this content. And then they're like, we're not going to nerf Trunda and Yumeko. And then I come across to Hydra. And let's say I look at Brutal, because it's a great example. We've got these teams doing like 200 million, 290 million, 300 million, 374 million. Very impressive. 379 million. You know, with the Krizias in there, we've got Sifi +3 Krisk. No Mitchinette, we've got a great team. And we come up to a Trunda team. We go from 300 million to 22,000 million. Or 22 billion. Like, if we subtracted this score from this score, we would still have 22 billion. Right? So yeah, I will say I'm a little confused by this. Monitoring individual champs' performance to make sure there's no champion gives too much of an advantage in this content. And they have no plans to nerf Trunda or Yumeko. So I'm a little confused. Because when I look at it, and I look, you know, I look at it, I kind of feel like, why would you say this? Why would you say we're going to monitor for chance? Like, if this is not too much of an advantage, like, what is? What is too much of an advantage? If not that, like, is that not the definition of too much advantage? But they're not going to nerf them. So, yeah, I'm like, Plarium should go back in time and they should delete this. They should never have said this because it doesn't make any sense. I think it's silly. And it also makes it quite silly. Like, why bother nerfing Cadaver if you've got these teams? It's the same thing, right? It's the Trunda team is the same as Cadaver. It's just harder to get the champions. But it's the same thing. So why nerf Cadaver? Why bother? It's very silly.